starts now.
Ironman athletes once again raced through the Treasure Valley, but not without rain, controversial cuts, and a finish that was almost too close to call. And that's tonight's big story, live at 10. The Ironman half triathlon is normally 70.3 miles of swimming, bicycling, and running. But today's weather more than cut one event in half. Our TAMARA JOLEE joins us live in the studio to explain how all of that event went down in tonight's big story. And Tam, it was no easy race out there.
No, it was not. Lots of drama. First the weather and then the finish line. We'll start with the damp conditions. About 45 minutes before the start time, officials chose to cut the bike portion from 56 miles to 12 miles because of concerns with hypothermia. Some chose not to compete. For those who did, it was a race to the finish line, and what a finish it was. 1,300 athletes hit the water at Lucky Peak for the first portion of the Boise Ironman Saturday at noon. Cold, damp conditions hovering around 47 degrees welcomed the competitors as they set off for a 1.2-mile swim.
It was very tough. That swim was worse than Ironman swim in my eyes. It was a really wavy, choppy, cold swim.
The next event, 56 miles on bike, but organizers at the last minute slashed the trek to 15 miles because of poor weather conditions, including snow on the course.
I was just really glad that they at least had the swim. It was freezing out there, so that was probably a smart thing to do to shorten the bike like that. I couldn't feel my legs, couldn't feel my feet. I was looking down to see if my feet were in the shoes. It was awkward on the bike.
Hundreds of fans turned out to cheer on the athletes in downtown Boise as they set out to finish the third portion, 13.1 miles on foot. With a $10,000 prize at stake for the winners, Callum Millward and Maddie Reed stayed neck and neck. In fact, they finished in a dead heat and broke the tape at the same time. Surprise winner Miller was originally called the winner, but Reed questioned the call and race organizers eventually called a tie. The men finished in the weather-shortened race time of 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 23 seconds. On the women's side, no controversy. Great Britain's Jodie Swallow won the women's race in 2:29. The former Ironman world champion had never been to Boise, and she says it's the coldest she's ever been.
The run was tough. You know, we were cold. I didn't feel my feet till mile 5. You know, the blood doesn't flow evenly. But yeah, I'm pleased. It was good. It's always good to come out with a win. You have to just cope with what you're given. And
Jimmy, you may have noticed the sun was actually out at the very end, but it was still, with the wind gusts, very cold. I was there at the finish line. All the athletes that came through say this was one of the hardest and toughest races they've ever competed in. We'll have more in sports. Back to you.
All right, thanks.